Welcome in, y'all. Timeshare Clarence. It's June 5th, 2024, and this is my first report for the month where basically I'm going to do a recap on the progress so far this year, set the goals for the month, and lay out the routine to accomplish those goals. Okay, so beginning of the year, I committed to being more consistent with recording these videos for my kids. I think a big catalyst for that was the fact that my grandfather passed in December. So, anytime somebody passed, I think it's a natural inclination to think about your own mortality. And I started this years ago, but I haven't made a lot of videos over the years. I was very inconsistent, and it's extremely important for me to position my kids as well as I can to be more successful than me in life, and not just make more money than me or acquire more materialistic things than I have or that I'll acquire, but to live a happier, more fulfilled life. So I have to at least start off, the first lap and pass the baton. And I think about where the baton was passed to me. So with all of that being said, I'm like, okay, so what's the most beneficial thing that I can do? And that was, hey, like, put it out there, just be real, so they can see what it took for you to become successful, for you to get healthy, for you to live as long as you did, for you to travel as much as you traveled. Like, because if they want to do those things, I would like to at least show them how, and potentially allow them to build on that. But that will be their choice, but I just want to do my part. So I wanted to demonstrate how you reach your goals with consistency. It's not necessarily about, killing yourself, working your fingers to the bone. And, it's really identifying the things that are important and then investing in those things on a daily basis, and make it where it's easy for you to do, because you're more likely to stick to something that's easy than to stick to something that's challenging. But if you just start doing the easy thing over time, you will develop the routine to where you'll get better results. But you just have to start. The important thing is, first, to start, and then second, not to quit. So even if you regress, like, restart, reset, like, don't throw in the towel. So I started off in January, and at the beginning of January, I was a tick under 240. I don't know exactly what my weight was, but it was 239 something. All right. So in January, I just set out a goal to jog like a little bit shy of a quarter of a mile, and then walk the rest of a 2.5 mile lap, and do 40 push-ups. That was it. Oh, and do a 12-hour fast every day. So just do those three things. Do a 12-hour fast, do 40 push-ups, and then jog around a quarter of a mile and walk the remainder of the 2.5 mile lap. So I did that, and I was very consistent. And in January, I lost 7.6 pounds. So that was the easiest routine. I did it with consistency, established that it would be effective. So my goal was to increase every month. So in February, supposed to go up from a 12-hour fast to a 13-hour fast. I was supposed to go from 40 push-ups to 45 push-ups. And at that point, I think I had doubled the distance over the course of the month in January, because there were days where I felt I could do more. So, but the minimum was to do that quarter mile. So I did that every day. But a lot of times I ran a half, or I jogged a half of a mile, or sometimes close to a mile, just depending on how I was feeling. So January was good. So February, there was something coming up, and it's slipping my mind. And y'all gotta forgive me, because I legit got memory issues, which is also part of the reason I record everything. I make notes about everything, because I just retention is an issue for me. Recalling certain things is an issue for me. And at times I feel like that can be beneficial, because I can let shit go relatively easy. So February, it was something that I needed to do for Leah. I think it was her phone or something. Her phone was broke. I had a good month at work in January, so I was actually expecting to get a pretty nice check at the beginning of February. So I scheduled some time to go to St. Louis so I could take care of what I needed to take care of with the Leah's phone. But also, I don't make a lot of money every month. So when I do, I try to do as much as I can for my kids and their situation. So it's like, there were things that they needed. And then I had some stuff I needed to catch up on financially. Pay my maintenance on my timeshare so we can use that, or they can use it. But anyway, went to St. Louis, so that was a break in my routine. But I didn't get the money I was expecting. So now I'm in St. Louis and I'm not really accomplishing what I went to St. Louis for. And on top of that, I don't know how, but I get to the hotel thinking I got a reservation, and the dates are in wrong. So instead of having a reservation at the beginning of February, I got a reservation at the end of February. So I don't remember the exact dates, but it was irrelevant. So now I'm in St. Louis with this time off, no money, so I'm not really accomplishing anything. Also not at work, so I'm not making money. And now I gotta spend some more money, because I gotta get a room now. So do that, and then I'm like, all right, well, I ain't get the money this check, so I already got a reservation for the end of the month, so I might as well come back at the end of the month and take care of the stuff I'm supposed to take care of. So now, in St. Louis again. So with that being said, February was terrible. My routine was super inconsistent, almost non-existent, and then on top of that, being in St. Louis, just different eating habits, absolutely no workout regimen. So in February, the regression was real. So I lost 7.6 in January, and I gained 8.8 pounds in February. So now I was like, all right, I just blew this month, blew all the progress. I'm not only back to start, I'm worse off, but my routine is better. So now I'm doing intermittent fasting for 13 hours instead of 12. I'm doing 45 push-ups instead of 40. I'm jogging at least a half mile instead of a quarter mile. And I'm starting to do some yoga and this hyperbolic stretching routine. So now March, I got some time off in March too. So it's like, I'm trying to make sure I make as much progress as possible and factor in the regression element, so I don't have another month like February. So in March, I had a lot of time off, was on vacation. So I had a decent month. So in March, I lost 4.2 pounds, but again, now I'm starting from a higher point. So now I'm essentially just a little bit under where I actually started the year. I'm down 3 pounds. All right. So now I'm going into April. I'm gonna work the majority of the month, but I got some time off at the end of the month because it's some birthdays. So, all right, now I don't want to go backwards, but I know when I'm off, I check out. I'm not jogging. I'm not doing push-ups. I'm not worrying about fasting. I'm eating, I'm eating out, fast food, just terrible, unhealthy. But when I'm at home, I'm pretty disciplined. So now, April, I lost 2.6 pounds. So I didn't regress, but I didn't make as much progress as I could have. So now it's a trend, good month, bad month, decent month, still progress, but less progress. So May, I was determined to have my best month. Excuse me. But it's like, with all this time off, I'm not exactly where I want to be. So at this point, I should be up to 55 push-ups, but I'm only doing 50. And I really think that's the only thing I didn't go up on the push-ups. I went up on a fast. So I'm at 14 hours fasting, 50 push-ups. And I'm jogging a mile now, but I'm also jogging maybe another quarter mile at the end of the lap. So now I'm doing jogging the first mile, walking, and start back jogging at the end and finish up coming into my complex. So I'm jogging more, I'm doing more push-ups. I've started being more consistent with the hyperbolic stretching. I'm seeing progress, but I got a long way to go. And the yoga, so I keep trying to sit up straight because my back hurt. But now I'm getting more used to doing these things, and I wasn't consistent. The playoffs was going on, so now I got these days where I'm not being disciplined. I'm going to the sports bars and eating tacos and wings and drinking alcohol and doing all this stuff. So I didn't have great results, and I was still in striking distance toward the end of the month because I think I missed 5 days as far as like hitting everything that I set out to do. And then with that being said, I made progress mentally because I just had to make that mental shift. Like, man, it's not what you're supposed to do, it's what you're required to do. And once I started doing that, then I didn't neglect anything. But that's just recently. We talking, within the last week and a half. So now I got a solid routine. Sometimes when I finish, I feel terrible. And it's like I feel the best when I feel the worst physically because I know I push myself. Like this morning was a struggle. I didn't get much rest. I stayed up late last night. So I think I went to sleep after 3 a.m. I was up before 7 a.m. But I didn't get out until 9 a.m. And we in Vegas, and it's an extreme heat advisory at 10. So it's like 90 degrees out here, and my ass out here trying to jog. I tried to hydrate, but I woke up dehydrated, obviously. So I drunk a couple cups of water, but now I'm like, I need to get out here before 10. So I got to do this. I ain't got time to really hydrate. And I could tell as soon as I started my jog, like the past few days, because I've been trying to get under 10 minutes, I've been like jogging at a faster pace. Just that first stretch, maybe that first quarter mile, sometimes half a mile, and then I notice, I'll slow down, but I've given myself enough cushion to get under the 10 minutes. And so today I didn't have it in me to start off as fast. So I started at a slower pace, but I sustained that pace a lot longer than when I jog at a faster pace. So I did the lap in the fastest time that I've done it, but I felt terrible. Like I was so drained. And then a half a second, kind of was like, damn, do I really want to force myself to jog this part at the end? But again, that's the requirement. So I think about my kids. So gotta just mentally psych myself up. I'm like, hey, every day I do this, you know, that's another day I get with Micah. That's another day I get with Sophia. It's another opportunity I have to be there for the people that I care the most about. And it's not just them, but at the end of the lap, it was just them, right? Because I think about in everything that I do, the impact that I desire to have on the people that I care the most about. My parents, my siblings, obviously my kids, their mom, some friends. So just, it's a lot of people. And then in reality, hell, I don't even gotta know you. Like if my experience can help somebody else, even if it's just simply to encourage them to not quit, like, great. But ultimately, I have to have my why to push me when it's hard, and it was hard this morning. So I had to think about Micah, and I had to think about Sophia. And when I got home, normally when I tap my door, I hit my watch to stop the lap. I'm a little bit winded, but it's like, even if I had a desire to like lean over, I used to play football and I used to tell us like, stand up straight, like I would do that, but like when I'm so exhausted that I can't even do that, I'm like just hunched over like for a few seconds trying to catch my breath. Like it was a rough morning physically, but I did the lap faster than I've ever done it since I started, you know, and I met the requirement. I didn't quit. I didn't throw in the towel and say, man, I don't got it in me this morning, because that was the logic, or at least the thought process a couple months ago, man. Some days you only got 40% in you, and when you got 40%, you give 40%, and that's 100%. But then like, nah, fuck that. The requirement is the requirement, so I'm gonna do it every day. So I'm excited about this month, because even though I'm not where I want to be, I'm further than I was, and I have learned enough. I've tweaked my routine enough. I've developed enough discipline mentally to do everything that I'm supposed to do every day. And I'm excited about the results, because this is the same way I felt at the beginning of last month, but I didn't have the experience of last month. I do have that experience. So I see how easy I can mess up. It don't have to be, you know, just completely slacking off, but a couple days, like I had 5 days, and then, well, really 6, because the last day I traveled to St. Louis. So I had 6 days where I ain't do my routine, and I lost 2 pounds instead of 8, because I was 6 pounds down with a couple days to go. So I could have hit 8, but instead of pushing to that 8, I regressed all the way back to 2, and it is what it is. So this month, I ain't letting that happen. So I'm up to a 15-hour fast, jogging a mile, but it has to be under 10 minutes. Jogging, basically the stretch from Sahara to Karen, and then from the gate to my door, doing 55 push-ups, 3 days a week doing yoga, 3 days a week doing hyperbolic stretching, stretching my back, my calves, my hamstrings, at least 3 times a week, focusing on sitting up straight, engaging these muscles in my back that's driving me crazy. All these little things, but that's where I'm at. So I intend on maybe doing this weekly, just to kind of check in. But at this point, a lot of stuff I keep to myself, and I'm learning from it. It's helping me. One day I might make it public, but for now, it's for me to listen to and encourage myself, and then I see the result. So it's the power of one, right? If it can help one person, which is me, then maybe it can help other people. So that's where I'm at. That's the goals for the month. Oh, and do whatever my daily requirements are for Duolingo. Not just get on there and extend the streak, but actually complete every daily requirement for Duolingo. And if I start a lesson, finish the whole segment. And yeah, so those are goals for the month, and I'll keep y'all updated with the progress. If you survived this whole 20-minute video, appreciate you. So until next time, Timeshare Clarence, peace.